What up, though?
Oh yeah, you saw it?
Saturday morning conversation. Yeah, man, you would know this if you had your headphones on, bro.
Oh yeah, that's true.
We're supposed
I'm
to
freestyle.
have
No, I'm supposed to.
He don't want to mess up his waves or whatever's going on up there.
Come on, man. I just took a hat off. This is the first time I haven't had a hat on in ever.
Right, ladies, he's not bald. You know, most dudes that rock that hat all the time, they got
no
that bald
plugs.
spot.
Yeah. No plugs. Nah, because if anything, off mic, we was talking about famous players.
Famous bald motherfuckers?
No, famous players with the number 37 because it's episode 37, and you was like, yeah, that motherfucker was probably whack anyway. So
episode 37, Saturday morning conversation.
Yeah, like a player that wore number 37. That's what I was looking at just now.
It don't matter. He was whack.
Probably was, but still, like I'm at least trying to give him a little bit.
Like, I can't even think of no race car numbers.
What position has the number 37 in it? That's what,
in football, like the fullbacks.
Yeah, that's what I was
so
about
most
to
likely,
say.
he was whack.
Wasn't
look at the pictures they showed me.
Damn, this is some old. This is like 19.
Wow. Getting no burn.
Throwback.
Yeah, man.
Throwback.
Look like straight slave owners.
Damn, son.
God damn.
Nah, that's what they look like,
God
though.
Damn.
Oh yeah, no, they do.
Yeah, nah, look like some Frank Gifford.
Nobody goods worn 37 since slave times.
Yeah. Well, for real, I don't know. Barnstormer with number 37, but either way, when episode number 37,
we got a new addition to the show.
Yes, indeed.
What's going on?
Ari, introduce yourself, man. Give me if you got a nickname, and shit.
I ain't got no nickname. I'm just Airy motherfucking Brisbane to the Tizite. Nah, I'm just kidding. Local artist, actor, inspired, and
Captain Cool.
Captain Cool's too. Don't forget that.
Captain
Lemonade
Cool's.
truck.
Captain Cool's.
We're the only lemonade truck with a black man running around with graffiti, and the police ain't pulling me over. But when they do,
I didn't know that. Okay,
He's too legit to quit, man. He's on some hammer time.
I got to patronize.
Don't let these curls fool you, man. Let these curls fool you.
He's too legit to quit.
Yeah, man. I've been like working hard, just trying to get re-inspired to like do creative things. So I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to be a part of
happy
the
to have you on the team, huh?
Thank you, appreciate it.
Ari's gonna be handling all the social media shit.
Yes.
All right, you know what I'm saying? So when you get hit blasted with all the social media, don't call me. Call Ari.
That's why he got me. That's why he brought me on board.
Yeah, we had to have Ari as the buffer zone here.
Right, the chocolate suavemente.
Yeah. Oh, man, chocolate drops.
Yeah, my girl asking me, well, ew, did you post that? No, it wasn't me. It was Ari. That was that motherfucking Ari.
That's
talking
cool.
about,
I'm
talking about that
too,
single shit.
So, yeah.
Talking that single shit, that was Ari. I had nothing to talk I had nothing to do
got
with that
problems
single
with
shit.
that. My boys already got their like wives calling me when they come hang out with me. Yo, listen, a dude could be sleeping at my crib, chilling from the game, having a beer, just knocked out from liquor. And as soon as they're at my crib, they know I'm single, the bachelor area. It's like, we're out partying. It's just like, listen, you know how hard it is for a woman just to get to my house, just to convince her to even think of the notion to come over. Now you're thinking of 12 women? Nah, it's not even happening. I'm not even that smooth. I ain't no Floyd Mayweather.
Nah. And if anything, if you see the single man post, that's all Ari said.
It's all good.
Nothing to do with that. Had nothing to do with that.
It's all good.
We also got special guests in the building.
Yes, indeed.
Longtime friend.
Yes.
All right.
We go way back.
Way back.
Way back.
Back to the football days at University Heights.
University Heights, that's right.
Wait, we go back to Holy Name when that school was still there on the east side.
I'm gonna give you brief history. I met Dawood. I met Ari just now. That's the most recent. I met Dawood in 1985. Mm-hmm. That's right. You know, we were singing at that point. We were singing the Fat Boys,
right?
And we was the Fat Boys was really big at that time, the beatboxing. But I met Dawood in 1985 when I was at first grade at Holy Name.
Yep, and I was in second grade.
I was in second grade
with your brother.
With my older brother, and lots of people. Too many of the people mentioned on this podcast, but lots of people. I met Daryl. Well, that gotta be what?
Bishop.
At Bishop, probably,
Bishop,
right?
yeah.
I met Daryl at
like
Bishop.
92?
Oh,
No, before
89.
89.
I met Daryl in 1989 at Bishop. But we all, every Sunday, we go to Dawood's house because we live next door to Dawood in University Heights. every Sunday I go over to Dawood's house, and Daryl will be there already playing Nintendo, playing Contra, playing all the video
Damn,
games.
so y'all know Bowtie Killer.
Who both that killer?
What's his name?
Mr. Alexion.
Mr. Alexion.
Yeah. You know Mr. Alexion? I didn't know he got a cool nickname later on.
Listen, as soon as he found out that Daryl was step with my cousin, he was just like, "Oh, fuck out of my class."
We have
I
Mr.
told him
Alexion.
that dude so much.
Oh, man.
But Daryl will be over my house because we will be playing Tecmo Bowl.
Tecmo Bowl.
And my mother will be making lasagna.
What's up, Auntie Marlene, if you're listening?
Yeah,
love
my
you.
mother.
We need a lasagna day. That's what we
Oh
need.
yeah, man. Yeah, I got to talk my mother into it, but you see, she's.
I'll buy the product. I'll buy the product.
before we dig in deep, shout out to the homie Bill Pace. Put us on Outright Geekery.
Yes, indeed.
Nice little write up. Check it out.
Yes.
Pictures of us. It's outrightgeekery.com. He came on the show. He put us on his show.
Yes.
On his podcast, rather, or whatever it is that he does over there. Write up. Check it out.
Yep.
And
Bill Pace.
Bill Pace.
True indeed.
Where we starting at, man? We're gonna start with this
NBA, man. NBA.
These fucking Warriors.
It look like it's
cooked.
a wrap.
The claw.
It look like it's a wrap, huh?
Cooked.
It's tough.
You know,
The dark skin's coming back, baby. Dark skin's coming back. You light skinned niggas are done.
You think so?
Hey, listen, man.
You think so?
I'm a believer. I'm a believer in coincidences, especially when it comes to sports. And when I see a dude like Kawhi that keeps it cool, that keeps it cool and keeps it smooth, and he shows all that shit. Like my thing is, the amount of shit that you talk, have that same energy in your hands. You know what I'm saying? And he puts it in his game, and I haven't seen a dude play like him since like Allen Iverson.
No, wait, hold on.
You know, Kobe.
he's like a really athletic Tim Duncan.
That's what I was just about to say. He's
Wow.
Tim Duncan 2.0.
He's like a 6'9" Tim Duncan, or however tall he is, 6'5".
He's very fundamental in his game. He's very quiet off the mic, and he's just all about coming to work, doing my job, and then going back home and then living my life in peace and quiet. He's because he was with the Spurs with Tim
He also
Duncan.
might be a little autistic because I watched his interview yesterday.
Well.
And then I watched him, like, you know how they film the guys walking off the court? Like his self-esteem is only on the basketball court. Like, I don't think that dude even goes out and gets bitches. Because, like, he was walking off the court, like, with his head down, like he lost.
True. Yo,
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he did, in his interview, was just like, we just out here trying to get buckets.
No, but again, he's learned from Tim Duncan because Tim Duncan was such dry bread. Like, people hated Tim Duncan because he was so corny.
I hated his interviews.
Yo, he was so motherfucking corny. But for me, I'm like, yo, everybody can't be Kevin Garnett. Everybody can't be Rasheed Wallace at that time, right? The way Tim Duncan was, like, he was very efficient, and off the court, like, he was so boring, you didn't care to hear what you was looking at somebody else.
I like to say, for the record, Tim Duncan's from the Virgin Islands, where I'm from. So we're not going to have any more negative conversations about Tim Duncan at the table.
No, we're not going to continue.
We got to have some ethnic pride here.
Nah, we used to have this beef. Why? I used to say why Trinidad was better than St. Thomas.
Oh, here we go.
We're not going to do that. We're not going to do that here.
Some island shit.
Trinidad versus St. Thomas.
No, but I agree. You know, Kawhi Leonard, what I like about him is that he can contribute a lot to the game even when he's not scoring a lot of points.
Yes.
So, you know, he can affect the game in so many ways. It kind of reminds me of like a 90s basketball player in some ways, the way he's physical, the way he's not just shooting three-pointers.
You know, killing them with the mid-range.
Your rebounds, defense. He can have 12 points and still be the best player in the game. His press conferences kind of remind me of Belichick sometimes too. You know, they asked him yesterday, what will it mean to the fans of Toronto if you win? He said, you'll have to ask somebody on the street.
That's the most asinine answer ever.
Then he hit him with the laugh.
Yeah. The laugh is creepy. The laugh is scary. The laugh, when he doesn't laugh, is
Like, the laugh is like...
How the laugh go?
You ever seen the movie Us?
Oh, shit.
You remember that laugh in the movie Us? That's kind of like Kawhi Leonard's laugh.
Yeah, it's like...
That's why he ain't getting no bitches.
You never know, man. You never know.
Even his laugh is like he's like a sinister sociopath. Like he sits at home and he got voodoo dolls on all the dudes on the Warriors.
That's terrible.
He's like, today I'm gonna lock down Steph Curry.
Yo, but it's like
the marionettes.
I feel like we're coming around that time where it's just like you don't need 5 dudes to shoot threes all the time.
But this is it. I'm gonna tell you this.
You don't need it anymore.
This is where Durant comes back. and they win the rest of the games, and he wins MVP.
He's going to LA.
That's gonna be my wild prediction right there.
They're not winning 3 games.
Durant will come back. But you see, even if Durant don't come back, I don't want him to come back, especially if he's fitting to come to my Knicks. Because if he's fitting to come to my Knicks,
he ain't coming to the East
Coast. Come on, man.
He's going to LeBron. Nah. He's going to be a Laker. That's what he wants.
Come on,
Stephen A. Smith.
I had to do it. I heard that yesterday. I was like,
he's gonna go to the
imitate,
Knicks.
Stephen.
But here's the question though: if Toronto does win the title, does Kawhi still leave?
That's a
like, does he want to be on the West Coast that bad?
That's a good question.
You got to remember, like right now, the Raptors are the only basketball team in Canada.
Yeah.
They're going to build that dude a statue in every province if they win a title. It's going to be like Kawhi Leonard Boulevard, Kawhi Leonard Highway.
He's going to
be Wayne Gretzky has a whole town named after him in Canada.
He's going to be basically the equivalent to like what Stephen Marbury did out in China.
How would you leave though after that? I mean,
I feel like they have to give him my focus.
No, go ahead.
I feel like they have to give him every necessary reason not to leave, not in the sense of money, but in the sense of like where he fits into that organization and who they put around him, because he's a team player. And that's like if he got people on his team that he feels like he can last a while for, he may stay there.
I think
he cares about the money,
because he's going to need some more help. He exerts
You
could see him sometimes a lot of games. And that's hard to keep up for a 2 and 3 championship run.
But if you win the title, you can get whoever you want to come.
I agree.
They're going to get him some more players. All right, you wanted to meet me in L.A., come to Toronto.
I agree.
Where you be a god. Or go to L.A. where you got to compete with everybody else.
Toronto's a great city, too.
And Toronto's a dope city.
Remember the 92 Toronto trip?
I do.
Come on, man. 92 Toronto trip.
We was looking at those pictures with my lady the other
day. Yeah, man.
The Niagara Falls.
I didn't
go either. Stop crying.
Me and Dara went on a class trip to Toronto in 1992 with Nathan Bishop. One of the highlights of my life. That was one of the best trips ever been on.
Dope.
That was
one of the dopest trips.
This is the only thing I know that's the difference between
we went to the Sky Dome.
We did
as
Sky Dome.
Americans and Canadians. If they lose the championship game, they're still going to give them a parade.
That's right.
That's the beauty about it. And us Americans, we're dicks. The only teams we do that for is like the Olympic soccer team.
That's right.
Our soccer teams are shit.
Yo,
if you ain't first, you last.
They still show Tracy McGrady and Vince Carter wild love.
Oh my god, yes they do.
Damon Stoudemire, all those guys.
Tracy hasn't played in how long? Jesus, oh my god.
So Del Curry.
I don't know. Del Curry still gets love.
But see, like this is the thing though, is like Kawhi is such a type of person where you can't really tell what he's fitting to do, because he could easily just stay in Toronto and just be chill.
I tell you what, if he leaves, he's going to be banned from Canada.
Nah, I don't think so. Nah, if he leaves, it'll be dope, because if he leaves, he could be the first NBA player to win 3 championships and 3 MVPs for 3 different teams.
That's true.
Well, he won 2 with the Spurs? Oh, you're saying if he goes to another team, that he could. Okay.
Yeah. So like, say if he goes to the Clippers, which a lot of people are predicting him to do because he's from, and he wants to do that. Okay, cool. All right. And if he wins another championship there and he becomes an MVP, like how many NBA players have done that? Like he can, rather than being the next Jordan, you could create your own lane of things to do.
Who they got over there that coexist? Who you think coexists with Kawhi?
Who in
the Clippers?
Well, see, the Clippers have, I believe, 2 max slots, and then they have a lot of young players and they have good contracts. So it's. Then they have Doc Rivers. So the coaching's there, the organization is there, the ownership is there. Like the whole structure, everything is there with the Clippers that people will believe should have already been there with the Lakers, because they've been established. It's the same thing that people are trying to say now with the Nets versus the Knicks, where the Nets seem to have this organizational ownership, and then they have the coach, and then they have the good contracts, they have the 2 max slots, they have all their draft picks, and they're set for the future. But look at the Knicks. The Knicks.
The Knicks are a dumpster fire, dog.
Come on.
They're like the Southwest Airlines of the NBA.
Don't say that to Spike Lee.
It's bad.
It's bad.
No, because the thing that the Knicks and what James Dolan has done is he's tried to be like a Steinbrenner type, where he will go after big names and make the money on the back end with the merchandising.
But you got to win.
No, but what he would do is he would get a Derrick Rose, somebody that's injury prone, that's liable to break down, especially in New York where the pressure's on you to compete. And if you don't compete, then maybe your body starts to break down. And now you spent all this millions of dollars wrapped up in cap with this guy, but you're trying to make all the money on the back end with merchandising, with T-shirts, with bobbleheads, with keychains, with...
Yeah, but you got to win. The difference between Steinbrenner spent all that money and won World Series.
And that was the difference.
So it made it worth it. And he's been doing it since the 70s.
And that's the difference.
See, the money champ came in at the right time, right?
Yeah, but you see, that's the difference. Is that with Dolan is making millions and don't care about winning. That's the problem with him. Because he likes to wear the Knicks as like a gold chain when he goes out with his band playing out in that little basement parties. And he's like, well, I'm the owner of the Knicks. That's his pickup line. That's how he get bitches.
That's a pretty solid pickup line, though.
I mean,
that is a pretty good pickup line.
Yeah,
I own a team. That's the only pickup line I ever had.
Oh yeah, right. That guy might look cute, but I own the motherfucking Knicks. Right?
Only a rich white man would be like, oh yeah, I own them, but I don't care if they win.
Yeah. He owns a MLS team. I own an NBA team. That's Dolan. He doesn't care if the team wins or for him, the more they lose, the more the comeback is worth. Because once the bounce back happens, look how much people gonna start jumping on our boat now. Oh yeah, but
and then you bring a star.
Yo, it's a long bounce back.
That's a long bounce back.
That's a long bounce back.
I mean,
like the Knicks haven't been good since the missed finger roll, dog.
Yes, that's true. The Knicks have not been good in the 21st century.
Because
that's scary.
Because what happened was that Patrick Ewing era was when it was Dolan's father.
Yes.
After that is when it was James Dolan, and you see the major difference.
I'll tell you,
everything changed when it went to Jim.
I'll tell you what it changed when Patrick Ewing got dunked on by fucking Scottie Pippen.
Oh, here we go.
Oh boy, no,
that shit. Listen. When you get schooled like that, that was the end of an era.
How come nobody want to talk about when John Starks dunked on them dudes?
Oh, because John Starks was the only dude that could ever play Jordan. He was the only dude that could defensively. John Starks?
Well,
John Starks? He wasn't?
Well, see, the only dude.
No, but for the Knicks, I would say Derek
now.
Harper used to DM up good. Charlie Ward was trash.
Thank you. Don't talk about Charlie now.
But Chris Childs tried. Chris Childs tried. But Chris
I'm talking about
he was better off
just two-piece
and
every
Kobe
game that Jordan was in with John Starks, his numbers were significantly low. He never got a triple-double on him.
So back then, they were allowed to use different defenses.
True.
Hand checking.
You could use your body. You have to be very competitive like Starks was. He was very competitive. But then when Jordan got past him, I mean, you ran into three bodybuilders. Yeah. It was Oakley and Mason. Ewing, people forget, is such a nice guy. We forget that he was a very physical player himself.
He was a nasty dude.
Elbowing people in the drive.
Yeah, so that used to take a little bit of a toll on Jordan. Joe Dumars was very good on Jordan too, but with the Pistons. But,
Pistons. Maybe Kawhi go to the Pistons.
Yo,
listen, man, we can dream.
Listen,
dream.
I forgot the Detroit connection.
He's a Detroit connection. I always got love for Detroit, man.
We could dream about them getting some good players again. You know what I'm saying? We'll see if it ever happens. But the beautiful thing is that Kawhi Leonard's doing it in New Balances.
Yeah,
that is.
He's cooking motherfuckers in New Balances.
Between him and Phife Dawg, those are only two people that really advertise heavy for New Balance.
So not only do you have
New Balance,
you have to feel like, all right, this dude just cooked me, and he cooked me in New Balances.
Yeah.
It's like they're like halfway grandpa shoes.
Yeah. Or the white gym teacher.
Yeah.
He killed you in the off-duty cop 7000s.
Yeah.
Kawhi Leonard is that dude on the basketball court back in the day. He bust you in jeans.
Some high tube size.
Playing his jeans.
Like, damn. No shirt and jeans.
The acid wash jeans.
Just staring at you.
I'm not gonna say his name. Remember, homeboy used to jump all the way up to the rim like he could dunk it and then finger roll it.
Yes, he remind me of him.
Yeah,
ways to fucking jump.
No, but he used to jump all the way up to the rim like
all
you
the way
could
up to the rim,
and then just finger roll it in. Like, what the fuck you doing, dude?
You could not stop that finger roll. No, you could not stop that shot.
No,
he knows who he is. If he's listening, he knows who he is. You could not stop that shot.
Shout out Stephen Grant. That was my homie. Yeah. Like, if anything, we ain't say nothing bad about him.
No, Steve was that dude.
Stephen Grant, man. Yeah,
he was with the granddad defense.
Was a sick athlete, man. That guy was unbelievable.
Speaking about like athletes, I know you wanted to talk about Simone Biles.
Oh yeah, Simone Biles is the most decorated Olympian gymnast.
And she a black woman.
Yes, indeed.
Probably the best gymnast. Now she's the best gymnast of all time. But like the question that I like immediately when it comes to mind, like you talk about, all right, Simone Biles, the greatest gymnast, greatest American gymnast, but also the greatest gymnast of all time. Yes. But now is she the greatest Summer Olympian of all time? Because like where does she rank in the pantheon of like? Is it her then Michael Phelps?
How many of those people enter those competitions like every?
Like amateur sports is,
it's like
it's millions of people who have an opportunity. Anybody can qualify for the Olympics if you run in a sanctioned event or you perform in a sanctioned event. You don't even have to be like from a college or anything like that. Like if I was in like super good shape, I could go compete at like the Penn Relays.
No. We've been working on it. We're fitting to be Olympians our damn self. In the curling scene.
Oh, that's right.
I used to love the curl and track and field.
The Trinidad curling team, baby.
I think
this is how Trinidad is better than St. Thomas, baby. We fitting to work on our curling team.
I gotta get some GI curlers.
I'm not even from Trinidad, but.
No, like I said, you'll be the John Candy. You'll be an honorary. You'll be the honorary Trinidadian for the curling team.
Trinidadian Cool Runnings.
Yeah. Part 2. Is he dead? Yeah, so we're fitting to be Olympians ourselves.
Yeah, man. The amount
Olympic
of training
that would be so crazy.
That girl had.
Hey, Olympian curlers. I'm telling you.
So I don't put Simone Biles as the greatest Summer Olympian yet. She's performed in one Olympic so far. Was it two? Was it two?
Two Olympics.
Was it okay. So I had forgotten it was 2. I remember her.
Michael Phelps was in like 5, I think.
So I all the swimmers are gonna get mad at me. I rank that a little bit lower. I think it's an easier sport to come back in multiple times than other sports.
Swimming?
Yes.
Okay.
Not as much toll on your body.
And not as much toll on your body. Yeah. And you have a lot of events that we start to thread the needle as to like this event versus this event. We have swimming backwards, swimming frontwards, butterfly swimming.
Okay.
There's a lot of opportunities to win a lot of medals in swimming. So now I'm not knocking Phelps. I still put, I know people don't like him, but I still put Carl Lewis up there. I think people have forgotten how great
Carl Lewis was. He was a monster.
Plus the greatest national anthem of all time. Please go watch Carl Lewis sing the national anthem. But
next to Roseanne Barr.
and Fergie.
But the fact that he won the 100, the 200, and then also the long jump and track and field in like 3 separate. I think it went 84 to 92. That to me still ranks way up there. But I'm a little biased towards track and field.
No, I am too.
Darryl was good. Darryl was a good track runner, by the way. People need to know that.
Anybody who met me after like 2006.
Darryl was nice. He was. Yeah.
Anybody who met me after 2006 don't even know about the track career.
So you know how much takes toll on your body.
Yeah. Hope High School still had the better track team.
That's true.
They still do. The soccer team still.
Y'all had better middle distance runners.
That's right.
But the city championship came this way every year.
Okay.
Because we had like discus and
we had discus and shot put and shit.
Nah,
whole track team was like 7 dudes. Yeah. So they couldn't score enough points. They had like 7.
But we had shot put.
They had like 7 all-staters, and then we would just show up with like 40 people.
Yes, that's right.
And
Sharon was crushing it with the shot putting.
Who was?
Sharon.
I don't know Sharon.
Lady Ruck?
Okay. I've heard her name.
Yeah, Lady Ruck. She used to crush it with the shot putting shit.
Shout out
y'all just didn't have enough dudes. Y'all just didn't have enough dudes, man.
Well, either way,
all the dudes you had was wild talented, but you didn't have it. It was like,
but okay. So with Simone Biles, where you rank Dominique Dawes?
Nah, she not in
Dominique
Simone Biles
Dawes she's not even in the same category.
Okay.
Nah.
Okay.
I mean, she's better looking, but
I'll let you say that.
But
I'll let
facts is facts, man. Like she's better looking. Like if you put them next to each other and ask anybody,
you're not gonna get no response from me because.
Plus, I'm gonna say some controversial shit right now.
I'll let you say it.
Super dark motherfuckers always just look like they're hot, even in air conditioning. They always look super hot, like they're just like angry hot.
Like,
super dark skinned dudes just always look angry hot.
Daryl.
Wait, like, what's your definition of super dark? Like Akon?
Darker than me?
Yeah,
or
like
around me?
Like super dark motherfucker. You're like, damn, that name was black as shit.
No.
You just look.
Listen, the Warriors are about to lose. This is hate on light skin day.
Good reason.
Oh, my bad.
What's the light skin cats right now?
You got me like the white chip in this chocolate chip cookie here.
This ain't no chocolate chip. This is a fuzz round. You the light skin.
I know. What's this hate on light skin day?
I was out doing yard work, so I got a little bit of a tan.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Shit. Hate on light skin day.
Hey, come on.
Nah,
yeah.
So, where would we rank her? Are we ranking her like in the top 5 though?
I would.
Top 5 greatest
As
Olympians.
overall?
I mean, if
I
she's
would.
pulling in numbers and breaking and making records like that where people can't even break them,
Exactly.
I mean, so it's like that's just
She won every gold medal this year at the World
So
Championships.
she's basically
I didn't realize that.
So
Yeah,
she's
she's the
basically
first gymnast
so
to win
right now
all
she's
the gold
basically
medals.
the Dan Marino of the Olympic
that.
gymnastics right now.
Dan Marino didn't never win no titles.
No,
No, he won records and shit. Like that.
Yeah.
He didn't win no
okay.
titles, but he won. He got records.
Yeah.
That's it.
I heard what he was saying. Like in regards to like the way that she's ranking and what she's doing.
Because we still rank Dan Marino as a top quarterback of all time, but we all know he never had a ring.
Yeah.
Nah.
You know, I never. You know what?
But
Let me
he
take
broke.
that back. I don't think Darryl tops him. What do you think Dan Marino is in the top in top what
Dan Marino?
of all time quarterbacks?
Top 10.
Top 10?
Top
Okay,
10.
all right.
Top 10.
All right.
Top 10 is fair.
Okay, cool.
But
Top 10. I mean, he had all the records that these guys are now breaking.
But you see,
they're all breaking.
But
yeah,
see,
that's
then
what
the other question that I actually had was okay, so Olympians versus athletes, like overall athletes, and I know Asha was talking about somebody also that was controversial as an athlete, but like athlete wise, like where do gymnasts rank amongst other sports in regards to like overall athletes? Because would you rank
I think it depends
a gymnast over a swimmer? Like, where would you rank it?
Well, I mean, I think you have to understand like how powerful gymnasts are. Like they're little, but gymnasts are some of the strongest people pound for pound on the planet.
Can you imagine a
You know what I
gymnast
mean?
kicking you?
Oh no,
Like,
I don't want to imagine that.
They're incredibly strong.
Like, dude,
Their strength is like translated into power more than like I think a lot of sports because of what they have to do. But then also, like most of them, especially there's no like pro Olympics, no pro gymnast circuit.
No.
So a lot of these people like they have their career. It's very short.
Yep.
And then they go on about their lives. But up until that point, like you have to remember that most Olympians do what they do while also working full-time jobs.
do they get any scholarships to go to school?
They do.
Gymnasts?
Yeah.
Okay,
So
so
like, you can go like college scholarships are big, but like most Olympians also have to get another job. Unless they're like
they
a
get paid for that.
top person.
Yeah.
Like that Diamond League pays, but most of those guys still like coach or work like other jobs, and then they just break away to go do some shit. I'm gonna go run this track meet in Sweden this weekend, and I'll be back on Monday, kids. I'll see you then.
Yeah.
So they're doing it like it's not like basketball players. They dedicate their whole like our pro sports. You get to dedicate your whole shit to just
One thing.
football.
Yeah.
Like it's as opposed to like I have to go run 7 miles and then go to work and then go do a track workout and then go to the gym and then go back to work and then take care of my family. So like Olympians on a whole to me are like just greater athletes. Because they have to do it while also like living a whole life.
And gymnasts are incredible. They get a lot of injuries.
Yeah.
They still perform with really bad injuries. And the risk if they make a mistake on one of those moves is so high,
man.
Yes.
And that's why I'm always amazed watching gymnasts, because that one slip and you could break your neck.
Yeah.
So they're just such courageous athletes to me when I watch them. I don't even know how they begin to do that. Like, how do you even get over that fear?
They start when they're 6.
They start when they're so young, and they,
Very fearless. So you would rank them over boxers.
Oh,
Whoa. Slow down.
No,
he's coming for me now.
No. I'm just asking a question.
Slow down.
No, because I wanted to see like overall. That's why I was asking like swimmers as a little softball. But where would you rank them in regards to boxers?
I've heard of a boxer actually taking ballet and gymnastic classes to
Absolutely.
really give his
footwork.
his footwork and his agility,
footwork,
his
leg
balance,
strength, agility,
his core. He wanted core strength. So
like
and
gymnastics,
that's a perfect segue to Anthony Joshua when we get a chance.
Absolutely.
I want to talk about what you just said about that. Yes,
gymnastics is kind of like the Latin, I think, for sports. Like how like most of the languages come from Latin. Like a lot of the speed and agility and power that you need in most sports, a lot of pro athletes will take either ballet, which is also like an incredibly like they're super powerful athletes, or gymnastics, so they can have the balance and the agility and the leg strength and the flexibility, really, to be able to
because that's one thing with Elijah said that he used to play soccer
for
his footwork
came from.
And that's where his footwork came from. And like you said, in the sense, ballet and gymnastics are like the Latin to a lot of sports.
That's
because all of that is basing your footwork, your balance, and how you move. Like we've been saying, but with boxing, you said that you wanted to segue into that as well.
I love what Ari just said, because Anthony Joshua just got beat down by, a guy who's not in the greatest shape, right? He got knocked out. And legendary boxer Andre Ward was talking about this on ESPN. You look at Anthony Joshua, and he's in great shape. He looks like a bodybuilder. That's his problem, right? He's lifting all these weights and doing this stuff that's not really helpful in what he's trying to do. He really should be doing all the core work, sparring. This is why a lot of boxers are not necessarily like big and muscular. That's not really the sport that you're playing. Those guys get knocked out. You see all the time in boxing. Those guys.
Some of the best boxers were not like super physique.
We're not super physique guys because they're sparring, they're doing core work, and they're building strength in different ways. All that weightlifting and putting on bulk. That's Anthony Joshua trying to be an Instagram model. I mean, that's really what it is. You know. And hey, he's a good-looking guy. It's no hating. I know he wants to be famous. He's big in England, but some of that stuff that's what cost him. Even though he looked better than the other guy,
have you
physically
seen that dude's videos of him hitting a bag?
Yes,
Ruiz.
Ruiz
is the loudest hit.
Ruiz can fight,
dude. That hit is the loudest hit that I can ever hear.
He can fight. I mean, he's not in great shape, and he needs to take care of that. But he can fight. You watch.
You don't want to get hit by him.
Pivot.
Yes.
Hit the pivoting workouts that he has with his trainers, and this is what I tell young black men that are in boxing: when you fight a Mexican fighter, work on your fucking stamina. Work on your stamina, because these dudes train to keep going for 15 rounds. Because in Mexico, they don't stop at 12 rounds; they stop at 15. So it's like, and that goes for all weight classes. It doesn't matter.
They're like the Amish of boxers,
dude. They are like
they go that extra step.
And Ruiz,
he's like the Mexican George Foreman.
I wouldn't put him quite there on that. Just like in terms of just how hard he hits, Foreman is probably the hardest puncher ever in boxing. Yeah. People talk about Tyson. Go watch old videos.
No, George Foreman hit hard as shit, like getting hit with a truck.
With Tyson, you could see it. It would be like a big, quick punch, and you could see it. Foreman would look like he hit you like this, and the guy would just fall. He didn't even look like he had to hit you hard, and that's when you knew he was heavy-handed. So I wouldn't put him on Foreman's level, but Ruiz can fight, and with Mexican fighters, they're incredibly fundamentally sound. Right? They know the game. They go to the body, right? And he worked on a strategy, and to shut it down. He knew what he was facing, and he knew exactly how to attack Joshua. And Joshua looked disinterested. Wasn't totally ready.
He was like, I'm about to go in here and beat this fat motherfucker's ass real quick.
Yeah. That's what it looked like, and you can't do that.
He probably had chicks on standby texting him between rounds. Yo, I'm gonna just fuck this dude up real quick, and I'm gonna be over there. Yep. Nah, he's some fat taco eating motherfucker, dog. I'm gonna go bust his ass. I'm gonna be there.
Just like how Tyson walked into the Buster Douglas fight.
Oh man,
I'm about to be done with this. I'm about to be done with this. And that guy's coming to fight.
Tyson left the blunt lit in the locker room.
I'll be right back.
I'll be right back. Yo, don't throw away my drink.
Ruiz is a shorter fighter.
Yep.
He's shorter than him, so he has low center of gravity.
Not only that,
and you got dude. When you're a taller dude, the worst thing I ever fear is fighting a smaller guy than me, and he gets
inside.
Yes. I'm always backing up and throwing that hit because he can sit there and throw my ass onto the ground as quickly as possible.
And me as a smaller guy, that's why one thing is I used to like WCW versus WWF at the time. I'm at WWE now, but either way, as a smaller guy, yes, you go to the body, because a tall guy could just jab you to death. And see, as a smaller guy, you crouch down and you go to the body and you chop the tree down. But Ruiz was a throw-in, wasn't he?
He was a throw-in.
And that is kind of where I feel like that kind of threw homeboy off as well, because it's like, all right, I game plan to fight this guy, and then you bring this guy. Who's this dude? Yeah.
That strategy.
Get this Homer Simpson out of here.
That strategy you just said for fighting a taller guy, is that the one you used when you fought Nick?
Oh
shit! Asha's in here bringing all the tea right now. He's bringing all the tea.
The Trinidad Virgin Island tea.
I'm giving him props. This dude was a lot bigger. And, he caught them hands that day.
And then remember how he tried to jump out the bush on us and like, you jumped me that night. You jumped me that day, yo.
We definitely did. So I have to apologize to him. We definitely did.
No, but then we jumped him when he jumped out the bush on us too. Like, come on, we just trying to
reminiscing jumping memories.
Nah, because we walking home. This dude jumps out the bush on me. He's like, yo, oh, you thought you beat me up, huh? Oh, you thought you beat me up. Oh, you jumped me. I'm like, what are you talking about, dude? Like, get the fuck out of here. So then, I snuffed him, and then we jumped him, and then we just went about our business.
He was a big dude. Dawood snuffs him, but he's a big guy, so he ends up on top of Dawood. He's just a large guy, and it's hard to get a guy like that off.
God damn.
So we had to do what we had to do to kick that dude off. We got up and we were out.
I gotta get home.
I'm out.
Man. I wasn't trying to catch them hands or catch that belt from my mother for being home late.
I feel like what really killed Anthony Joshua was that he never trained in American boxing gyms. You were training in Miami, Philly, New York. These are the top 3 places in America on the East Coast when it comes to boxing to train. And then Miami, like, you're from England, bro. You're not used to that heat. You're not used to it. So he really exhausted himself. I know he lost probably a couple of pounds.
That's another great point. There's a history of European fighters losing in their first fight in the United States. There is an issue. European fighters are also, it can be misleading. They face different competition. It's not exactly the same quality of competition. Mexican fighters and American fighters tend to be at a higher quality of competition. So, he fought a lot of guys. He beat an old Vladimir Klitschko. It's not a knock.
Right.
Yeah. But he was older at the time. So there was
and he
some
almost got knocked out by Klitschko, too.
He almost got knocked out. He almost got knocked out. And the guy Deontay Wilder just knocked out. Brazil. Dominic Brazil. Joshua had major trouble with him. Yeah. I mean, he knocked him out, but he had a lot of trouble with those guys. So there was always a question about Joshua coming, what he would look like in his first American fight, and we found out.
I know he's
glad it wasn't Wilder.
And it wasn't Wilder took his head off.
If he couldn't face Brazil, it's like. But you're right. Yeah. I'm glad you said that because he had problems with Brazil. He had bad problems.
Yeah, a lot of problems.
And that's the thing with English fighters. They're
it's so correct.
They're very straight.
It's
like a Sonny Liston type
thing.
fight, and just straight up.
Yes.
And that's why Sonny Liston got his ass whooped by Muhammad Ali. It was just different unorthodox type fighting and made him circle around the ring.
It's this straight up thing that if you circle a guy and you sidestep him, you can you just get inside of him. It's this old style thing
from a different angle.
Yes,
they want to do the.
So does that make Lennox Lewis a better boxer in the Pantheon because?
Yeah,
because he came over and kind of like dominated for a while.
Yeah. But Lennox Lewis,
he also lived in Toronto.
He lived in Toronto.
Where's he from again?
London, but he lived in Toronto.
And then, but see with him,
and he trained in Kronk.
I was going to say early on, he trained in Kronk.
Yeah,
and he got trained by Emmanuel Stewart in Kronk, and that's what really helped Lennox Lewis develop. Like at 17, 18, he went to the Kronk in Detroit. In Detroit, of course. I mean, you had to bring it back.
I did.
Back to
the legendary Kronk.
The legendary. Listen, I went there.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
I went there thinking because one day I was like, why haven't I been to Kronk Gym? Like I live in the city. Like I should go to Kronk Gym.
Okay.
And we did a city year project there, and I was like, "Where's the boxing gym? Like, I can't come to Kronk." And it's like the dingiest, like
the best ones.
Like I expected it,
right there.
And you hear about it, and you expect to walk into like this like palace of like
marble floor,
gym equipment and shit. Mm-hmm. It's like the straight like basement is dark, and it was 2 big ass dudes at the time. They might have been famous boxers. I don't know who was in the gym, and they were banging on each other, and it was just like boxers. Like it was just dudes hitting the bag. It looked like the movies when you go in and you see just boxers boxing.
Yeah.
But it was like no frills. There's no like new equipment.
Like some people just boxing downstairs here.
Yeah, it was just bags in a ring. It was only one ring. I was like, yo, I'm in the legendary Kronk boxing gym and it's only one ring in here.
That's what it's
like.
All
I expected
about.
to see like 2 or 3 rings. Like I expected to be like more of a like a
like fixed up nice after.
Yeah,
right?
like all the major boxers that came through there, all the boxers that have to come through there to train.
That's right.
You would think that they would come through and be like, I can't train here. This is, but they're like they like that dingy shit.
Have you ever seen? It goes back to what I was thinking about, like of how when you train, like it's when you spar, it's kind of like when as an actor, and I might be seeming I'm going off topic, but as an actor, I think it's more important for an actor to study and train themselves how to audition versus what they think is going to be a better actor. Because acting and auditioning are two separate things. They're two separate things. Because I've been to many auditions and they've asked me, how do you do this so well versus kids that are coming with SAG-AFTRA, licenses and then bachelor degrees. It's because they've been a student for 4 years, not an actor. They haven't been auditioning for 4 years. They've just been jumping in. Have you ever seen Muay Thai fighters practice Muay Thai fighting? They're going hard body, but they're playing. So when it comes down to the fight, their bodies are so used to that impact.
Yes.
It's ready. Anthony Joshua did not fucking spar, dude.
He did not spar.
He did not fucking spar, nigga. That's why you can see. You didn't know this, cuz?
I haven't watched the fight yet.
Oh my god.
He did not spar in preparation for this fight. You could see it.
Oh, it's kind of like that movie with the Wayne brother.
The Great White Hype?
The Great White Hype.
Yeah, and he just like took it for granted.
Took it for granted. Like, what kind of boxer don't spar before a championship
I thought that was
fight?
standard. Like, I'm a guy to get my rounds in.
Yeah, you
just
run
to
on
even
the
work
road.
on like strategy, right?
Yeah.
It's not like
you can choose not to.
The rumor is that he was also knocked out or knocked down in sparring.
I heard
that's the rumor mill going on, which is always a sign that something's not ready, something's not right. Remember, if you remember this is obscure. Mike Tyson was knocked down in sparring before he fought Buster Douglas. And everyone showed the tape, and it was a big deal. Everyone was trying to be like, it's no big deal. It was a sign of that something wasn't quite right. That the fight should probably be delayed. He's not totally ready. So I had heard Joshua had been knocked down in sparring.
And you see, with that Mike Tyson thing, I remember that too, because this is the era when there wasn't an internet.
Yes.
There wasn't cell phones.
Yeah.
It was like the kind of shit that you just
had to hear on the street.
You hear through the street, like how remember how we heard the story about KRS-One beating up the dude from
from PM Dawn. Yeah.
Like,
you just heard about it.
I remember that now.
Yeah. You just heard about it.
Yeah.
I don't even know where we used to hear about it. We used to hear about it.
The news would just travel back in the day.
It was travel, I just hear about it, you know. But now you could find the video. You'd be able to find the video now, you know.
Somebody had a big ass camera at that point.
Someone had it. Someone got that on tape.
Someone got the VHS.
AK, I got that on tape.
If you want to hear the full story of that, you know, he did an interview on Drink Champs about that.
Who, Tyson?
KRS-One.
KRS-One?
Love Drink Champs.
He explains the whole story, and it's so obscure. Super Cat was about to perform to figure out where it was. And he tells this great story, you know. So to give one more shout out in boxing, Sunday, Julian Jackson is going to be admitted to the Boxing Hall of Fame. I want to give a shout out to Julian Jackson from St. Thomas and the Virgin Islands.
Oh, shit.
He was a student of my father. My father taught high school for many years in the Virgin Islands.
Did you have the poster?
I did.
I remember that poster.
He's very close to my father.
Nice.
And Julian, when his fights would come on, everything stopped in my house. So you had to watch Julian Jackson fights. Below heavyweight, he's the hardest puncher of all time. I want you to go and Google Julian Jackson
I'm
fights.
gonna check him out.
And how hard he used to hit. He was unbelievable.
I remember you had that poster.
We had the poster in the room and everything. Yep. Julian Jackson. He's being inducted to the Boxing Hall of Fame.
That's what's
up.
Congrats to him. That's long overdue.
Yeah.
You know?
Also, shout out to Demetrius Boo Boo Andre.
Yeah,
he's gonna be
of course.
He's gonna be at the
Andre.
dunk, man. Fighting in your hometown. Just don't do what Peter Manfredo did on the fucking Contender, nigga. Come on. I love Peter. I always show him love, but like, don't ever bring the dream home and then you fuck it up. This is how bad it was. I did an internship filming there, and I was there watching the whole fight. That's how mad I was. I was like, I need to go on
Here's the thing. This is my only knock on Rhode Island boxers, is that they get to a certain level, and then they never get beyond that level.
Yeah, stagnation.
They don't fight anybody like outside of New England for most of their career, and then when they fight somebody on a bigger stage, they get knocked the fuck out. With the exception of a few.
Yeah,
I'll tell you this: with Andrade, he's guys are avoiding him left and right.
No, the kid.
They're avoiding him left and right. And I'll tell you this. I'm not going to make a prediction now.
I want to see him fight Charlo, dog.
Canelo Alvarez doesn't want any part of Andre. He does. There's a specific style of fighter Canelo has trouble with.
Yes.
And he knows it. Watch the Austin Trout fight from back in the day, which I thought Canelo lost. All right, watch the Trout fight. Watch some other fights, and Demetrius Andre, especially being a southpaw.
Yeah.
Canelo Alvarez doesn't want to fight Demetrius.
Canelo doesn't want to fight him.
So
Charlo doesn't want to fight him.
It's tough, and I see why.
We gotta get him on the show, man.
Yeah. I'm gonna try. It's hard right now because he's busy. He's busy, and I don't want to really throw him off and try to. But I'll definitely let him know and stuff. And
even if it's just some, we gotta get him.
Quick shit. I'll even try to get him on the phone if I could do it.
We'll go to him, man. Yeah, we'll go to him. It don't matter, but he's one of the few boxers that has outside of Rhode Island, outside of New England representation.
Yes. Overseas too.
Like Manfredo was a great fighter. You know what I'm saying?
It was regional.
Vinny was a great fighter. Matt Godfrey was a great fighter. But these guys didn't have a lot of outside representation, so they didn't fight a whole lot outside.
Shout out Big Six, Jason Estrada.
Jay Estrada was an Olympian.
I was just about to say that too. Isn't he right down the street right there?
Super heavyweight too.
He's right there.
Callie Reese has a couple of belts.
Yeah.
On the women's side, there's some great boxers in Rhode Island, but they don't fight a lot outside of New England. You know what I mean? But the ones that do win shit.
Yeah.
But you got to be careful coming up who you fight on the way up, because once you step outside of this area and you go fight in Philly or Detroit or St. Louis or wherever else boxing is big, LA, Mexico.
And that's the
thing. You fuck around and get your ass beat on TV because you ain't really fought nobody like that.
Yeah, Friday night fights and get knocked out on your way to the ring.
Oh my God.
Especially fighting the southpaws. Southpaws are hard to fight.
It's hard to box.
Period.
You know how hard it is to hit. You know how hard it is to pitch to a left-handed pitcher.
And with
balance.
Exactly. And with southpaws, they do everything backwards. So every movement is
it's a mirror.
Everything that you've been taught.
It's
backwards to you.
Yeah. And he's a switch hitter. He's an ambidextrous dude, so he can switch his shit.
Yeah, and
drops low, taller than you, drops low, and his reach is almost 7 feet. How do you fight that? Canelo's reach is not that long, bro.
It's
not that long. He's just like you said. He knows exactly what type of fighter he is.
He knows exactly who he doesn't want to fight.
Canelo's too pretty for that. He doesn't want to get dirty. He's at that stage where he's trying to transition more. From what I've seen, he's trying to really transition more into the Golden Boy type thing, the De La Hoya.
The De La Hoya type thing.
So he's doing more advertising for Bear and shit like that. So he's doing more facial stuff. So he's not fitting to get that dirty.
You can't afford to get knocked out. It'll fuck up his whole situation.
No, not right now.
Nah. He's playing his cards right for his retirement party right now. That's all it is. He's not trying to go out getting knocked out.
How old is Canelo now?
As long as he's been around, I think Canelo's only 28 still.
Yeah.
Because he started 15. He started 50. He started boxing 15 years old. So he was a national star at 19, 20 years old already. So Canelo's 27 still, which is crazy. It feels like he's been around forever.
What y'all think of Ryan Garcia? Young dude. He's 17, 18-0 right now. Skinny dude. Hardest, skinniest dude I ever. Check him out. He's the hardest dude I ever seen hit hard. And he's I never seen a skinny dude hit as hard as he does. Just the amount of power, and that's what I'm starting to notice. What the trainers are doing now with the young fighters. They're starting to teach them how to really throw more power into their punches instead of being a speedster. Because that shit I don't believe.
Oh wow, he really is only 28.
Yeah,
28.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. 27, 28 years old.
Wow,
he's a young guy.
Wow, so
I think he's been boxing for 20 years.
For real.
Yeah.
He's an OG in the game at 28.
28. Yeah, that's
OG. He's I've been boxing. I had my first professional fight when I was 16 years old.
So imagine,
get the fuck out of here.
So imagine if he retires in the next 4 or 5 years, he'll be in his 30s. He's not trying to mess up his De La Hoya good looks. He's trying to sell cigarettes in Africa somewhere, or
cigarettes in Africa.
He's trying to say all power to the doctor.
I'm just saying. He's just trying to maximize his dollars. He's getting the call from the Congo, and he's all right, nobody's gonna see it. Shit. And the check cashed. What? I'm saying that's what it's about. But you see, once the check cashes, you could start trying to be the new Jay-Z of boxing. Like I'm saying, like the billionaire.
Okay. About to move over there, Jay-Z.
Yeah, man.
Billy.
Yeah, the first billionaire, huh?
First billionaire, officially net worth billionaire in hip hop.
Yes.
We all know that Dre signed that $1 billion deal for Apple, Apple Music. And it was $1 billion deal.
It was a $3 billion
deal. So he made like $1.5 billion off the deal. However,
what's up, man?
when you calculate net worth, it's money versus assets and all that.
Oh, can you imagine
Taxes.
the country club when he walks in the country club? They're all like, he's like, "Hey guys, how's it going? Hey, Sean." All these rich ass white dudes just like fucking nigga over here.
So Jay-Z is the official net worth billionaire.
Hell yeah.
He joins. Who's he joining? Well, nobody in hip hop.
Nobody in hip hop.
But he's joining the Billionaire Boys Club. He's up there with the Warren Buffetts and and Oprah Winfrey's and
but yeah,
like his circle is different than it was when Reasonable Doubt came out. The people who he was dealing with when Reasonable Doubt came out can't even get into the same buildings as Jay-Z.
No, he's not getting that Coney Island sand between his toes anymore. That's for damn sure.
Is him and Dame Dash still cool? They are not.
Nah, they're not cool.
When you make that much money, you can't even be cool with
Dame's not in Jay-Z's circle anymore.
He's still a Harlem nigga CEO. That's what I call him, Harlem nigga CEO.
I wonder if Jay-Z does like regular
he's
shit
rich.
just to feel hood. Like if he has his driver drive him through the projects late at night.
Or the New York hot dog?
Nah, I swear he's still cool with Memphis Bleak, though. I swear to Moses.
I'm sure he's still cool with Memphis Bleak. Memphis comes to his house. He don't go to where Memphis stays.
Yeah, I'll send a driver for you, Memph.
He probably hits him up. Hey man, you gotta move out of there, man. You can't still live there.
You know what?
You got money now, B.
You can keep your car. I'm gonna send a driver, B.
That's crazy.
Keep the Honda over there, son.
That's crazy. I never thought in my life I would ever see a guy from hip hop make $1 billion and still be so humble enough to be an inspiring mogul figure in the black community. And at the same time, I know he's a businessman, to which he doesn't.
I don't think that Jay-Z's humble at all. I think that he's very quiet. I calculated.
But I think that adds to it.
You can't get to that level of money.
True.
Being humble, you can't do it. If you think about all the billionaires, none of those dudes
are
you're
right.
Dudes.
No, you're right. You're absolutely right about that.
This is an interesting conversation about Jay-Z. I've had this back and forth with a lot of people, and a lot of people feel the same way, that they find him to be very humble about the way he approaches things. I personally find him smart.
Yeah, no, he's not humble. He's not humble at all.
You got $1 billion. You
could be a businessman. That's part that comes.
All you gotta do is listen to Jay-Z's lyrics to know that he's not humble.
Yes, yeah.
That dude is not a humble dude.
He ain't with the broke boy shit. That's for damn sure. He ain't getting White Castle.
And you gotta remember, Jay-Z had money before.
Yeah.
He had any kind of record deal.
Was he like a prize boxer in New York?
No,
or
he
something
was
like
a fucking drug dealer.
But I was saying before that, was he boxing a little bit? No.
50 was.
50 was.
You know what I mean? But now he's in an upper crust where everybody he's talking to right now got wild money. Like Jay-Z got buy the Knicks type of money.
Yeah.
Like his net worth is out there because he's so diversified, which is what a lot of artists don't do with their money. They just buy chains and cars and houses. Yeah. Instead of buying businesses and property and
he got
art
investments,
and
man.
Shit that's gonna hold his value.
I love the fact that he bought.
So in that aspect, Jay-Z should be like, you can look to Jay-Z and be like, all right, I want to diversify my money. These are things that I should do besides buying gold teeth and rings and chains. You know what I mean? Buy the property, buy the businesses, buy the gold bricks. You know what I mean? Invest your money.
Yeah, because
align yourself with like minds to be able to do the shit that you want to do.
Yeah, because I'm looking at it here now. The way that his breakdown is, the majority of his money is coming from the champagne. Then it comes from his cash and investments. Then it looks... Nope. What's after that? Then it is... Yeah. He has stake in Uber.
Tidal.
Yeah.
Right? He's making more money off of Tidal and Rock Nation and Art's collection more than his real estate. His real estate is only $50 million.
His music catalog.
His art collection is serious. His art collection is serious.
His work, because soon as he went, I bet you any money that him and Beyonce, they probably got invited to an art gallery, and as soon as he realized how much money that the Society of Art puts into this shit, he was like, yeah, I'm part of it. That's the same thing with what's his name? I forgot what musician that put Adam Levine. He put like over $100 million. No, not $100 million. Like $10 million within the Classical Music Society, like donating and all that stuff. You know how much money those people be getting for those instruments? With Carnegie Hall and all that stuff. We're talking about donations. Like over $500,000 worth of grants.
Dre's not a millionaire, not a billionaire, but he's close. Like $850 million is still nothing to sneeze at. You know what I'm saying? Which puts him number 2. That all he got to do is just have like good Apple sales and he's fucking gravy.
Yeah, that's
all Dre need to do is fucking finally release a fucking another album.
Well, a good one.
Does he really have to though?
Yes.
All right, my bad.
He's been waiting for Detox for too long, dog.
Damn it! I need another Chronic.
We've been waiting for Detox for too long, Dre.
Yeah, that Detox shit.
I'm waiting for Detox since like 2008.
But you see, like,
damn, really, 2008?
At least.
It's been longer than that.
Shit.
Probably longer.
It's been longer than that.
Much longer than that.
He's been talking about the Detox for.
So because Chronic 2000.
Yeah.
Chronic,
I'm used to that shit. I'm used to motherfuckers talking about, I got that album coming, and it ain't never come.
Detox is supposed to come out before 50's first album.
I'm a J Electronica fan, so you talk about waiting for an album. I'll tell you about waiting for an album.
Wow. What?
I'm a J Electronica fan.
You waiting for Rage Against the Machine to come back? I'm waiting to.
But you see, I'm also a Nick fan, so I'm waiting for the Knicks to get good. I'm waiting for a J Electronica fan music to come out. And I'm waiting for Jesus to come back too. So
someone said the day that the Knicks will start winning is Spike Lee gives up his seasonal tickets.
I don't know about all that.
I was like, that's messed up.
I don't know about all that.
I was like, that's messed up. And he stopped wearing
Knickerbockers
uniform and stuff like that.
But you know what though? Like with the whole JC thing, the one thing that I still find funny from back in the day, and Asha, I know you remember this. Remember how people used to make fun of MC Hammer? And how commercial MC Hammer was when he was the first. Was he the first one to have the commercial in hip hop with the KFC commercial?
With the KFC dancing for the chicken.
Dancing for the chicken. No, I didn't like the dancing for the chicken, but
it's such a different era.
It was a different era.
It really is.
So yeah.
So I agree, and I'm not taking away anything from Jay-Z. He came along at a time and made the most of it, but there was a time where it was more complicated for rappers to take on different business interests and be more commercial, because the audience was so much more conservative in a sense back then.
Yeah,
that you could take a little more risk now, do different things. The MC Hammer story. Funny part is, you remember this story? Me and my brother went to buy an MC Hammer tape, 1988. Dawood hated MC Hammer, right? All the kids were into Hammer. Right? Don't act like you weren't. All the kids were, Dawood was the only one that was like, why are you listening to this crap? So,
the cartoon was one of my favorite cartoons with talking shoes.
We went to buy a Hammer tape. I don't know what happened, but we just saw MC and grabbed it too quick. And by accident, we bought the wrong tape. We thought it was a Hammer tape. And it ended up being MC Light. Light as a rock. Nice. And Dawood was like, nah, MC Light's dope. She's better than Hammer. And accidentally I found out about MC Light. That's actually a true story. Then he was like, yo, there's this guy you gotta listen to. He tells these crazy stories on his album, da-da-da. And he put me on. That guy he was talking about was Slick Rick. And that was The Great Adventures of Slick Rick. He put us on to that album too. That was a classic album.
Yeah. I always hated on him.
He always hated on him. He'd be like, why are you listening to this garbage?
And now imagine, I'm saying like, damn, imagine Hammer really is a pioneer in regards to marketing and putting yourself in.
In a sense, he was. Yeah.
And for me at that time, that wasn't really what I thought hip hop was to be, was the marketing.
Yes.
It was more about the music and making sure that you put something good together. Hammer, he was just like, he had some good songs. I still get jiggy with Oaktown 357 too, but still, I didn't like the whole dancing for the chicken thing. I didn't like, the cartoon was kind of funny, because, true indeed, back at Holy Name, when you kind of poorish, you used to see people with the talking shoes. Wow. The bottom of the shoe started peeling off. So separating from the top of the shoe, so it used to be talking shoes. So like, yo, you got some Hammer shoes.
On the movie soundtracks, Hammer was trying to get money. Now he's doing 3
Adam's Family.
He was,
Adam's Family. Yeah. But
I feel like,
he was the biggest pioneer that really doesn't get that much love in the hip hop community as much as he should. But he's gonna be one of those kind of guys that probably 10, 15 more years from now.
In a way, he was like a martyr in that sense, that he was one of the first guys to try and expand his reach in movies and cartoons, and he paid the price for it.
Hey, but the hood still got Hammer's back though. You can't go to the Bay and talk bad about Hammer.
Let me tell you something. Run up on Hammer. You go.
Hammer will put you in your shit.
Nah. Hammer don't play that shit.
Yeah.
He might be on some commercial shit, but nah. No, he's not. He'll commercially knock you out.
He's on tour right now.
I think to fall back on Jay-Z, I think to come back from the Hammer thing and how Hammer started it, who knows? Maybe Jay-Z was looking through a window and seen it before he grew with the content of how in the 90s the conservatives started to really... Because there was a time where I remember... Jay-Z, then there was a whole bunch of people, then Ja Rule even jumped on.
Yes.
Then we had Redman, Jadakiss, all these dudes with these illmatic style of hip-hop, and they all had their own different sounds. I think Jay-Z probably was one of those few people that realized that they were all changing. They all started to change the management because now the sounds are starting to sound similar.
I agree.
In the 90s, everyone's rap sounded different.
Yeah.
You knew Big L when you heard Big L.
100%
You knew Pun when you heard Pun. Now, I don't know the difference between Trippie Redd and Lil Pump.
Yeah.
They're both... There's a lot of people that love them. But there's a lot of people that think they're really good at what they do. It's not my generation, so
But when Jay-Z first came out with his Hawaiian Sophie, he used to have that riggedy rock, kind of like Das Effects,
because that was the content at that time. Then when the late 90s to early 2000s,
and then he changed.
He always evolutionized his way of hip hop. If you listen to the Black Album, To Kingdom Come, to what's the latest one? What was the one? 444. Off that title.
I love how you started with the Black Album.
I'm sorry. How old are you? I'm 30.
See, I didn't know you was inviting young people. I'm the
youngest nigga in here, all right? Leave me alone.
Oh, Vinny's there too.
Vinny's pretty young too.
Oh, yeah.
What is that in the 20s?
Vinny's like still in his 20s over there.
Oh, yeah, he don't know nothing about this shit.
I'm about to be 40 in 2 weeks, man. I'm about to...
welcome to the club.
I know.
Welcome to the club.
Welcome to the 40 club.
It's about your bedtime. Yeah.
I am getting tired. I need some more milk or something.
You know you're getting old when you start having dinner at 3 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
The other thing too is, oddly enough, Asha and my brother has the same birthday.
We're exactly 5 years apart.
His brother and my birthday are only 2 days apart.
Yeah.
And then yours
on the 23rd.
Yours on the 23rd. Yours a couple weeks after, I remember.
Yeah. That was a real way of growing up with that whole dynamic of
mad skating parties, yo.
So I don't want the Jay-Z truthers attacking me right now, because I know Jay-Z got some real hardcore fans.
Not as strong as the Beehive or the
Beehive is... I'm not messing with the Beehive.
The Beehive is roasting old girl from that game.
At the Warriors game.
At the Warriors game.
Yeah.
Oh, you should have... Listen... When Beyonce smiled and said, "Yeah, you should have cut that conversation because
she was trying to buy drinks, man."
Yeah.
What do you want?
But for me, in terms of creatively, Jay-Z, my criticism of him, and you talked about how he changed up his styles. I always thought that, in hip hop there was a time when biting was like the worst thing you could say about somebody. I always thought that he toed that line a lot by taking from other people. Now, he would take it to the next creative step. I'm not saying he wouldn't, but there were moments where that was a criticism of him when he first started. That was a big criticism.
He would take a hot line and then
then he would run with it. And there was a lot of stuff from Biggie. I thought that he
he flipped a lot of big lines.
Would he Carlos Mencia nigga shit? Like to actually take it.
He would use the first line of a big verse.
And conceptually, he would take something.
So it wasn't fully plagiarized.
Because in the song he had, he was like, "Yeah, you wrote a hot line, I made a hot song." So he would take somebody's line and then make a whole song out of it.
Okay, all right. That's sample. That's just different.
He would toe the line.
But if you listen to the Streets Is Watching by Jay-Z, which is a classic song, it's a great song. you listen to Warning by Biggie. Conceptually, it's kind of the same song, right? You know, so like that's what Nas has accused him of when they had the whole battle. Nas really was attacking him for
one of the best rap battles of all time.
That was classic. That's my last word on Jay-Z. I
used to wait by the radio for the next.
That was probably hip hop's last really great battle.
But yeah, we're up against it right now. Anybody else? Yeah, man. Time goes fast.
Did we get to everything?
No, we never get to everything. We always have an incredibly long list, and then we get to whatever we can get to.
Well, we'll talk. Because we could always talk about this next week.
Yeah, some of it we can talk about next week.
It's good to have more.
It's the beauty of the conversation is that it's not structured like a pardon the interruption. And those are all great shows, but you know, we sit here and we chit chat and we talk about shit that we talk about. How we talk about it as long as we want to talk about it. You know, there ain't no bells and horns and shit going on.
Cuz I just realized you got a hot wiener shirt.
Yeah, man.
You have to say shirt. You have to say shirt. You have to say shirt.
What happened?
No, you said cuz you look like you have a hot wiener in that shirt.
Oh man, don't cut it off then.
I mean, if a man is great, right?
That's what I'm saying.
That's the most positive.
The hot wiener shirt is
hot wiener.
The Pawtucket Red Sox changed their name like twice a season.
Yeah,
Pawtucket Hot Wieners.
You know what, too?
Yeah, so they let you bring your little wiener dog to the game, and they have all this like little runaround.
You know what when they did that a couple of years ago?
Yeah,
right. They started this a couple of years ago, right?
Yeah.
When they did that, I said, all right, they're really moving out of Pawtucket because that's some bullshit. That's that shit in The Simpsons. There was an episode of The Simpsons.
Shout out to The Simpsons for always being ahead of the curve.
They really were.
The Simpsons writers are all in the Illuminati.
Machine that they just
for real.
They're all in the Illuminati, man. The Illuminati just tells them what to write, and then for like 10 years we're gonna make this happen. Right?
For the isotopes, right? What they did was they had a night where they renamed the isotopes, right? And every shits and giggles and everything. But come to find out, they were actually moving out of town. They just wanted to slowly introduce it into people's consciousness. Yeah. Oh, well, if you was, you're willing to let go of the Paw Sox for some hot wieners, aren't you? How about the Shaolin Knights, huh? How about that, huh? Well, just how about that? Well, and quietly do market researching on the back end because. They were
they changed their uniforms and everything for the whole day. Like they have like a whole other logo.
Are they going to still be a AAA team for the Boston Red Sox?
Yeah, they're just moving to Worcester.
Worcester, yeah. I actually gotta check some of them games, man. I keep saying that.
Dara, I see on your list. I see on your list the Central Park 5. I know we're not going to have enough time to talk about it.
If you want to talk on it, man, this is
well. I hope you guys next week will have some time to go more in depth because it deserves more time than we probably have.
Yes.
I want to say quickly, I'm really glad that you guys are going to have that conversation. I was a criminal defense lawyer for a long time. So I represented a lot of people. It's a much bigger problem than people may realize. So I'm glad people are getting interested in the process and how the process works. There's been a lot of changes to the process because of what happened to these guys.
Yes.
Man, come on next week with us, man. We'll talk about it.
There needs to be more.
We'll open the show with the Central Park 5 next week.
Yeah.
If you want to come back and talk the legal side of it, man. Yeah.
I remember too back in Bishop. Y'all, I don't know who wrapped me up into it, but I had to take part of a mock trial where I was on trial for some shit. I was like, because some kid didn't show up, and then they gave me a little briefing on like what I did and what I'm supposed to do, and I'm sitting there and I'm watching the whole process. I'm like, yo, there's some shit. But like, I don't know if they do mock trials in school anymore.
I think they do.
They do. I don't know if they do.
I don't know.
I remember I haven't done a mock trial since like elementary.
Yeah,
and that's when I went to school in elementary, like outside of Rhode Island.
And see, like that kind of stuff, just being able to see the system. How it works on that level for me at that age was real eye-opening, So
teaching about institutions inside of an institution.
It's scary because you watch these kids, and these kids were younger than my oldest son is now. It's scary to watch and think about what happened, and it's a lot of these techniques they use with interrogations and basically torture to get these things out of these kids, and now those tactics are now frowned upon, banned, and can't be used. But we have to wonder about how many people are sitting in jail because of a lot of the same sort of tactics. So,
and this was this was an era before camera phones, before people really used to have camcorders, because back in those days, them shits used to be boombox big. Like, you used to have a big camera, unless you had like an 8mm one, but you had to have money for that shit. But this was in that time where it was just hearsay.
One of the great things I think is underrated about Barack Obama, when he was a state senator in Illinois, one of his big accomplishments was that he made it he helped pass, I wouldn't say he made it a law, but he helped pass a law. He pushed for a law that required Chicago police to videotape all their interrogations, or at least give the defendant the option, which is a rule in Massachusetts as well. You have to at least give him the option to audio tape or videotape it. They can decline, and they have to sign off, I don't want mine. Some people don't for their own reasons, that they might not want it taped for reasons you may imagine. But you have to at least give them the option. But in all homicide investigations, all interrogations have to be taped. And because you don't want law enforcement officials being able to just characterize what happened in a conversation. You should be able to watch it for yourself. The police were resistant to it at first. The Chicago police found that it actually protected them in most circumstances. Right? And this is the irony of the whole thing. It helps protect police from accusations against people that actually may be guilty of something. Right? You know, so most times it actually protected the police of people saying they hit me, they did this, and he said, well, here's the tape. We didn't touch the guy. So, but there were other circumstances where now you get to see, well, he didn't quite say I did it. That was the police officer saying, if you say you did it, we'll let you go. And the guy said, okay, I did it. He didn't quite say I did it. He said, yeah, I want to go home, you know. So, you know, I would love to come back and have a bigger conversation about that, because we all have, you know, teenage sons are going to have families one day, and I think these are things that we have to talk about.
For sure.
You know?
Yes, indeed.
Next week we'll get on that and go more in depth.
Yes, indeed.
With that, it's another Saturday morning conversation in the books, episode 30 motherfucking 7. The wackest sports number in history.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Appreciate y'all, man.
Thanks for coming on the show, man.
DJ Iron Monkey,
Vinny the Rock Lord, DJ K-Man, Iron Monkey. The chocolate suavemente.
Yes.
And,
Suavemente.
Yes.
It's going to stick, man. It's going to stick.
It's going to stick.
And
chocolate curls.
Asha White coming through. Thanks, man.
Thank you.
Asha White, indeed.
All right.
We out.
I was for a long time.